Hi, I'm Zoe Migel. I'm an autism specialist and have worked with young children with autism for 22 years. I'm going to talk a little bit about adequate network of care. It's often very challenging for parents to find the services that their child needs, either from the point of concern, so just getting an evaluation, or from the point after a diagnosis has been given, being able to access those autism specific services. So, an adequate network of care is something that, whether it's Medicaid or commercial insurance, such as Blue Cross, Blue Shield, or Presbyterian, that your rights and the rights of your child are protected by this thing called adequate network of care. And there are four pieces to that. One is that provider needs to be qualified. The next one is that service needs to be provided within a reasonable distance. Third, in a timely manner. Fourth, in your native language. If those four things aren't provided for, then your insurance company, again, whether it be Medicaid or commercial insurance, needs to provide an out-of-network provider or out-of-network services. And these may be services that are out of your town, out of your state, again, but they're required by law to provide you with medically necessary services that are promised either, again, through Medicaid and or your commercial insurance. So I'm going to go through each of them individually now and just talk a little bit more specifically. So the first one is that the provider must be qualified. And the big one for parents of children with autism is that a lot of times you may have a provider, but either they don't provide the specific services needed by your child, and or they don't have any experience at all with children on the spectrum. And this, as you know, can be very challenging. So the three pieces that are required for somebody to be qualified are that they're licensed, right? That they are approved by the state to support children on the spectrum in whatever area that that child needs. So, for example, if it's a pediatrician or a dentist or an applied behavioral analysis company, all of them need to be qualified. The next piece is that they need to be able to address your need. So if you have, let's say, a general practice doctor, but you are concerned about reflux or some other issue that's going on with your child, that specific provider may not have an understanding of sleep, all of those kind of things, then you would be able to call your care coordinator with the insurance company and ask them who they have a network that can provide that service, right, that's qualified. And they may give you another list. And the next question that comes in is, do they have experience with kids on the spectrum? Because supporting and treating kids who have autism can often be a bit more challenging, again, depending on who your child is. They can really need to have that specific expertise. So that's what we're looking at when we're talking about a child who is qualified to support your child in whatever area has been deemed medically necessary. A reasonable distance. So there are no specific points for this, and in case law and all that kind of stuff, the general guideline that I've been able to find is within 50 miles. So a provider has to be within 50 miles of you, or the insurance company has to then step up and provide things like room and board and pay for transportation. So here it says provide transportation, but they also have to pay for, again, meals, hotel, that kind of thing. They have to ensure by law that you have access, again, to the services that are promised. All right. Timely. And this is, again, a big one for families who have a child on the spectrum, because waiting is so hard and really detrimental to their child. So when there's concern and the family is trying to get the diagnosis either given or ruled out for a child, sometimes it can be quite a wait. So the general guideline, again, is 6 months, which still seems like forever. But I think that from what I have read, that is kind of the what's deemed as reasonable. And again, they have to provide it, within 6 months. Okay, so that's timely. And then they have to provide it in the family and the child's native language. So, for example, if you are Spanish speaking, and that is the language that you are most comfortable interacting with the world in, they must provide those services in Spanish, either by providing an interpreter or having somebody that speaks fluently in that language. And for the written reports, they have to provide a translation. So they have to provide a translator to do that as well. If they cannot do those 3 things, those 4 things actually, provide quality care within a timely manner, a reasonable distance, and in your native language, they have to connect you with an out-of-network provider. And again, as I said, they can be out of town, out of state, and they have to provide for that room and board, so hotel room, meals, and then also transportation. So they have to pay for your gas, for mileage, and or for a plane ticket, whatever it takes to get you access to the providers that, again, are deemed medically necessary for your child. Hope that's helpful, and please go on to some of the other videos here that, again, support those 3 steps to positive outcomes. 1, early identification, both concerns and evaluation that provides that diagnosis. And then 3rd, access to autism-specific services. And this PowerPoint on adequate network of care really speaks to that last piece, which is the access to autism-specific services. So remember, if you're having challenges finding services in your community, call your insurance provider and talk to them about adequate network of care. And remind them that they are responsible for providing services by somebody who's qualified within a reasonable distance, within a reasonable time, in your native or primary language. And if they can't do that, then they have to pay for getting you that service out of network, even if it means sending you out of state. If you'd like more information about autism and early intervention, you can find me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. All of the links are located below. Please like and subscribe to this channel to offer your support. It's much appreciated. Be well and take care.